develop relationships with multiple layers of that company. In account management, you want to develop a relationship with the executive level, right? The C level, the VP level people. Not a day-to-day relationship, but you want them to know your name. You want to be able to call them or email them personally and have them know who you are. You want them to know the relevance of you to their business. But you're not going to talk to them every day because they don't have time, and neither do you. A director or a manager level, you want to have a relationship with them. You want them to know who you are. You want them to know the relevance, and you want to have a rapport with them. You want to be able to call them up or email them anytime you want. And then you have a front line. That's the people that are actually doing the traffic and the dispatching and the tendering of the freight. If you have those three levels of relationships, if the first level turns over, what happens? What do? You call the guy above him and you call the guy above him, and you, as soon as you find out, you're calling them, and you're in an effort to, what's your, even my first effort was, in order to perpetuate what you want to do going forward, but what should be the answer? How can I help you? Now that, I can help you during this transition. But if you don't have that relationship with the customer, you can't do that. When that relationship turns over, you start from square one, and we all know how difficult that can be, because the guy that comes in, or the gal that comes in that's doing that role, has their own agenda, they have their own relationships, and if the management team is typical, they're not going to go in and micromanage it. They're going to say, just get it done. They're going to give you free rein, and that free rein may cut you right out of the loop. No difference on the carrier side. Why do we look at it any different on the carrier side than we do on the customer side? We shouldn't. Should we? Why should we treat the carrier relationships any different than the customer? We shouldn't. So we need relationships with the owners. We need, in these larger carriers. Do you want to know why you guys don't get capacity from larger carriers? Typically, larger carriers don't like to do business, a lot of business with a lot of different brokers. They have a small group of brokers they do business with, but you can't usually get regular, reliable capacity from large carriers, right? Try to go to Schneider and get regular capacity, right? Try to go to Hunt and get regular capacity. You can't. It's tough. It's spot, it's hit and miss. You can't get any rhythm with them. It's very difficult, unless the moons line up perfectly. You want to know why you can't get any relationships with them? Because you're dealing at this level. That's why. You're not dealing at this level or at this level. You want to know why you're not dealing at this level or this level? Because either what I'm telling you is the first time you've ever heard it, which I doubt, or it's uncomfortable, or you're just not a good investor. Probably one of those three, right? So here, sometimes I'm not trying to beat anybody up, but I want to point out the glaringly obvious. We all have room for improvement, right? You got to be able to look in the mirror and say, hey, I'm doing a lot of things right, but there's a lot of things I could do different, right? And these are some of the things that you can put to work today, tomorrow, next week. Are they going to pay dividends immediately? Maybe, but a month or 2 or 6 months down the road, you're going to see benefits, trust me.